Hi everyone, thanks for joining me on day 2 of my free 2-day travel coach training. I'm gonna wait just a couple minutes here to let a couple more people join in. I am a few minutes early. If you missed yesterday's training, day 1, you can head to my Facebook page here in the videos, or even on the wall you'll see day 1 of the training. In yesterday's training, I covered things like what is a travel coach, the difference between a travel coach and a travel agent, what the importance of travel coaches are and why they're needed, how to find your niche as a travel coach, the shifts in the travel industry, the rise in transformative travel, how to get into the right entrepreneur mindset, how to create your own travel coach framework, what you can teach as a travel coach, and a lot more. I also shared my story of how I went from just a traveler or just a college student to traveling to over 80 countries by the time that I was 30, and how I used all of that to find and create my dream career as a travel coach and becoming the founder of the Travel Coach Network. So I'm going to be doing a Q&A at the end of this, so if you have any questions, be sure to leave them in the comment box. If I don't see them for whatever reason or I don't get to them, then please send me a message, or if you just want to ask me personally, send me a message. I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you might have in regards to anything on these trainings, travel coaching, business, anything. I'm here to help you. So in today's training, we're going to be talking about things like how to do the inner work to set a really solid foundation for your business. And these trainings are not only for travel coaches, but also just business in general. These are really important aspects of starting a business and things to keep in mind for any type of business. I talk about how to find your ideal audience and how to attract them and to market to them, and the logistics of starting a business, how to block out all the noise when you're starting a business, what to stay focused on, what kind of revenue streams you can have as a travel coach, and how to start those or choose them, and much more. So, okay, let's get started here. So, hi, my name is Hara Rose DeVore. I'm the founder of the Travel Coach Network and the owner of Hara Rose Travels. I started my journey right outside of university, how I traveled. I studied hospitality and tourism management. Nothing really resonated with me. This was over 10 years ago, so the travel industry was quite different back then. The options and career options were quite different as well, and nothing really aligned with what I wanted to do with my love of travel. So I packed a bag right outside of university and I head off to travel the world in search of finding my own answers in regards to who I am, what I want out of life, what my passions and my purpose are, and hopefully my ideal career path. Little did I know, fast forward 10 years, I would travel to over 80 countries, and I turned everything that I knew and loved about travel, everything I learned, experienced, my travel story, the trends I was seeing, the voids, the problems I was seeing in the industry, I put all that together with the research that I was doing with other travelers, as well as the research I was doing online, and I found that I wanted to be a travel coach. It's what I love to do. And I started the Travel Coach Network because I didn't find anyone doing mirroring what I was wanting to do in the travel industry. I didn't want to be another blogger or travel agent or influencer or any other type of travel digital nomad job, a freelancer that were existing, and it still just didn't seem right for me. And I continued to travel and try to figure it out, and studied and did a lot more inner work and deep research on not only myself and my life and experiences and my travels, but also online to learn as much as I could of what was going on in the industry. And I figured out what it was, and it was my path to being a travel coach. So I created the Travel Coach Network because I wanted to help other experienced travelers, passionate travelers, turn their unique stories and experience and their expertise and knowledge and skills. Everyone travels for a different reason. Everyone travels for their own purpose. Everyone learns things differently throughout their journey. Travel transforms people's lives in such different ways and impacts your life in different ways, and everyone had something different to teach or talk about in regards to travel that they knew that was particular to them. So I wanted to create a network where I can help experienced travelers turn that their niche, their expertise, into their own thriving travel coaching business, where they can target their ideal audience who best relate to their story and want to learn from them best. So that is how I got my start to becoming a travel coach and starting the Travel Coach Network. I have launched the Travel Coach program, where right now I am looking for 30 founding members, as I have a handful of students already enrolled, so the spots are filling up. But because you're joining me on these trainings, I am offering you a really big discount. It's the lowest price you're ever going to get the program on, and it is, if you use the discount code travel 200 in the link that is in the description of this video. You'll see the Travel Coach program. You can learn more about what the program includes, and you can get $200 off. Again, it is the lowest price that is offered, because I am looking for 30 founding members to really focus on and hold your hand throughout this journey. You're going to get much more attention from me than anyone else after the 30 founding members is going to get, because they only get one hour session throughout their lifetime in the Travel Coach program, unless paid for otherwise. So as a founding member, you get a lot of benefits, and you really get the support and help that you're going to need to not only become a travel coach, but start an online business and become an entrepreneur and really make an impact as a travel coach in your niche and be the go-to person in your field. So let's get started here. So doing the inner work. What does that mean? I really encourage you to do the inner work when it comes to figuring out what kind of travel coach you want to be, why you want to start a business, what kind of business you want to start, and why it's important. So that means dig deep down into who you are who you are, why you do what you do, what kind of impact you want to make, and why. What does it mean to you? So do that inner work, do that deep dive, and think about your personal journey, your personal story, not only through traveling, but also your life story, and what got you from point A to where you are now, to what caused you to want to travel, what caused you to make this get you to the point that you are, where you're interested in making an impact in the travel industry. What kind of things happen in your life? What kind of highs and lows occurred in your life? Because believe it or not, there's so many people out there that relate to you, and those people are going to be drawn to you, and those are ultimately going to be your ideal clients, because they resonate with your story, they relate to your experiences, and they're going to want to learn specifically from you. So when you do the inner work, that's going to help you understand yourself as a person in business, yourself as a coach, yourself as a travel coach. Think about your core values, what is important to you most. For instance, my core values for my business are authenticity, generosity, and perseverance. That's because that isn't what just resonates in my business and a pattern within my own business. As my content, you'll see as how I work with my students, how I work with my clients, what's you're going to experience in my program, but it's what got me to even become a lover of travel in general. I never gave up wanting to travel the world. I never gave up when I was traveling the world and found that times were really hard. I never gave up when I wanted to start a business. You persevered through everything. And then authenticity is just being a genuine self throughout. That's how I coach my students as a travel coach, is to be as authentic and genuine as you can be. Use your authentic story. What rings true to you? What's your true experiences and expertise and skills that you have gone through as a traveler that you can use to create your own travel coaching business to then help other people? And how do you want to help them? Who do you want to help? And then generosity. I always say that generosity doesn't mean to be generous only with your money, but also with your time, with how you listen to other people, and just be generous overall. It's what I had always used as just a traveler. I always tried to be as generous as I can in any way that I can throughout my life. So I saw that throughout my journey of traveling, just the abundance of stuff that I would get back from people helping me when I needed help the most, or someone who came to me at the right place who solved a problem for me. And it was, I feel, the universe was just sending it to me because I always try to exercise generosity in any sense, and that goes right into becoming a travel coach and starting your business as well. Be as generous to your audience, to on your social media platforms. Give value. You know, share your experiences, whether it's in a blog or on your website, or create videos like this or trainings like this. And your post that you put on whatever platforms you choose to use, be generous with your knowledge and your experiences so that you can help other people. You never know who's following you and who can become one of your clients or your students or your mentorees, or maybe potential partner or whatnot. Just be generous. So those are my core values for my business and my life. But as a person in business and a travel coach, you want to figure out what your core values are. You want to establish those so that you can set up a foundation for your business. When you get stuck, you can always refer back to those when you're putting out content, when you're trying to think of what kind of travel, because as a traveler, you are a storyteller. You want to think about what times in my life did I show or experience or exercise one of these core values, and therefore why it means something to me. It's going to help you figure out your mission and your vision when you're starting a business. All your values roll into that as well. And it's also just how you're going to interact and perform with your clients and students, or whatever revenue streams you choose to have. It's going to, that relationship is going to build based on your core values, and you're going to have the most success with the people who share similar core values with you. So if you put it out there, those are the people you're going to be attracting. And then also it's going to help you put structures in place. When you're setting a foundation for your business, you want to create a solid structure, framework, like I talked in yesterday's video, creating your own travel coach framework, just like I do, which is I provide to my students my exact framework that I'm working in potential partnerships right now with business travel companies, travel agent companies, as well as corporate wellness companies. I will be a guest speaker in September with using my core framework as a travel coach that I've created at the Global Workplace Wellness Summit. So you want to create this framework that's going to give you structure to what you teach and how you teach it, and therefore it's going to bring a lot more ease to your business and what you do. It's going to give that message for what you do, and you can obviously always tweak it depending on who at that moment your client or you're talking to, or whoever you're maybe pitching to. But you're going to want to create some sort of framework or structure in your business. Put that in place. So let's talk about, how do you find your seekers? I call your ideal audience your seekers, because those are people seeking what you can offer, whether they know it or they know you, or you know it, or what. Your audience are your seekers because they're looking for someone like you who has the story that they want to relate to, or the experiences that they want to have, or they relate to you in some way and they're looking for that and they're seeking that. So these are your audience. You want to figure out who relates to you most. What does that ideal person look like? Like literally write it down on a piece of paper. Jot down, what do they look like, what age, what demographics, what interests do they have, what problems do they have, what kind of solutions are they looking for. And you use a lot of this based on your personal story. So think about what you faced before you decided to want to become a travel coach. Throughout your travels, what problems did you face? What questions did you have? What did you look like at that point in your life where you wish that you had this opportunity now? Because that's pretty much what your ideal client is going to look like. Again, if you decide to, depends on how you want to scale your business as a travel coach. If you wish to put your framework work in strategic partnerships with, like, let's say hospitality industries or tourism boards or retreats owners, or corporate, somewhere in the corporate world, whatever it might be, you're obviously going to want to manipulate what your ideal audience is going to look like then. Therefore, you're going to have to do the research on that, like I discussed in the last video, and day one of the video, the amount of research that you're going to have to do, because you're going to have to put that time and the effort into whatever your goals are. And yeah, so if you're trying to get what you want, your framework into retreats or corporate or whatnot, figure out what their problems are. What are they dealing with? What kind of articles are out there that are on these companies or these businesses that you're looking to get in with? if you're a travel coach and you specialize in like wellness, you can partner maybe with wellness retreats. You could do speakings at wellness events. There's so many out there. The wellness travel industry is just booming, from hotels to private companies to so much more. So there's so much potential, whatever your niche is. So it's all up to you, and through my program, I help you figure all this out. Sometimes people just want to take their niche and enhance their blog. I'll go over some more revenue streams in just a minute, but sometimes they just want to enhance their blog or become a better writer and get into publications, or you want to actually grow your business and become a standout person in your niche and get offers and opportunities to work with partners, or do guest speaking at big events or at conventions or summits or whatever it might be. I help you go through this, so that's one of the perks of being a founding member, that I will work with you one-on-one to really dig deep and to figure out what exactly your goals are as an entrepreneur and as a travel coach. And we can figure out what your limitations are and what your expectations are and how to get you there. So also, when you're thinking about who your ideal audience, you want to figure out what their language is. And when I say language, it doesn't mean like what language literally that they speak, but how can you communicate to them best? What kind of dialect do they use? If you're talking to the medical fields, you're obviously going to have a little bit more like medical terms in your terminology. If you are talking to just like backpackers or budget travelers, you're going to use that, words that relate to them, like the words remote work or digital nomad or whatnot. It depends on who your ideal audience is, depends on what kind of language you're going to use. You're going to use that language in your content you put out there, in your if you put out videos, whatever social media posts that you have, how you pitch yourself to a potential client or partner, how you're going to talk to someone in a sales call. And there's just so many aspects that you're going to be using a specific language for, but you're going to want to really study your audience and figure out what that language is, so you know how to best reach them and relate to them and communicate to them so that they feel like they are being understood. And not just feel, because you want to come from a place of authenticity. Obviously, you're going to want you're going to want to relate to them. You want to make them feel like you understand them, and that you can take them on this journey and you can get them the solutions that they're looking for, or you can take them on the transformation from point A to point B that they desire. And then also, to target your ideal audience, you want to figure out, where do they hang out? That means, what kind of platforms do they hang out on? Are they mostly on Facebook and Facebook groups? Are they really active on Instagram? Granted, it is the travel coaching, it has to do obviously with traveling. Instagram is huge, but you have to really understand if your audience is going to be on there and how they're going to be on there. A lot of travel Instagrammers are trying to be influencers, so they might need a different approach to be able to pitch to them or work with them. Hi, Yulia. Thanks for joining me again. And so you're going to want to have a different approach to working with or connecting with the influencers on Instagram. But I find a lot of benefits of being in Facebook groups. There's so many different travel related Facebook groups that you can connect with a lot of people on. There's a lot of people who might be in your ideal audience that you can network with, and ask questions and get to know them and build genuine connections with people, so that you can understand your ideal audience better and really understand what they're looking for when they're on a platform, what they interact with most, what kind of reactions they get from things most. What kind of posts they react best to. Are they long stories? Are they short little posts? Are they graphics that you're posting? Are they videos that you're posting? Really understand your audience to a T, so you can best put your energy and effort to create the best content to put out to them, so you get the best results that you're looking for. But it's going to take some time to play around with all of that. But in the meantime, just build a connection, figure out what platforms your audiences could be on, join groups. This day and age, a lot of people know how to be active on social media. but there's really a way to do it strategically. And if you're going to get into business, you're going to have to use strategy with everything that you do. Otherwise, you are going to be putting a lot of time and energy that's going to waste that you could be dedicating somewhere else. And so that is another reason why it's really important that I want to work with my founding members to really help you figure out how to best use and manage your time, especially when it comes to social media. And then other platforms I can hang out with, maybe they're on Pinterest a lot, which is used as a search engine, just like Google. So Pinterest can really help drive whether you're trying to lead someone to your blog or to your, maybe your Facebook page, whatever, maybe a landing page you created, whatever page or end point that you want to get people to. Pinterest can be a really great, and it's based on graphics and free gifts and stuff, like little freebies, free workbook or whatnot. So the Pinterest is really great too. If your audience is going to be maybe on LinkedIn, so if you're looking to network and connect with companies or a lot of bigger partners, wellness retreats, corporate wellness programs, guest speaking opportunities, LinkedIn is great. I have built a really big network and connections for my strategic partners, for my corporate side of what I do, based on LinkedIn. But if you're looking for, your ideal audience is looking for budget travel or whatnot, LinkedIn might not be your best choice. So does that make sense? All of this depends on who your audience is and where they hang out most. So do some studying, do some research, and you can look on your Facebook page and look at the analytics, and you can see too what your ideal audience or what your audience looks like that looks at your stuff most. And if you don't know how to do that, you can message me. I can send you a link to show you how to do that. So that's what a lot of people use when they do Facebook ads. You're gonna want to target market a specific person who you best think will benefit from your service or your product, versus just trying to send it to anyone and wasting a lot of money, a lot of time, and not going to your ideal client. So the logistics of starting an online business. A lot of people think that starting an online business is going to be really expensive, so it hinders them from even beginning, and trust me, that's not true. There's so many tools and resources on the internet these days that there's so many ways to start an online business and cut costs, meaning there's a lot of free options. There's a lot of, Facebook has so many ways to provide products and services and maybe like a program or a course to people without paying for a different platform. And there's so many ways to market and promote yourself through social media and through all these other avenues than to have to pay for advertisement. You don't have to pay a lot for, websites and all these different things, funnels and whatnot. And in my program, I give the exact list of things that I use, and then different options depending on your budget for what you want to have for when you start your business. I put that all into my program to provide an abundance of resources and tools that I wish that I had from the very beginning, that I did trial and error and research and all this stuff on. I provide that to my students to bring ease to their process. And you're going to want to invest your money where it counts. A lot of times there's so much noise out there on the internet of where to invest your money, what to spend money on, what to buy, what to pay for, and it becomes really overwhelming. Every person and their mother is offering you some sort of service to help you start your business or grow your business or whatever they say. But you have to put the time in thinking about what is most beneficial to you. But I'm not saying at all don't invest your money. You have to invest your money. You have to invest your time, your energy, and your money into your business, but you want to do it in a smart way. And that is one of the reasons why I wanted to create an all-in-one business venture in my program as a travel coach, because I wanted to take all that noise that's out there and select the best for my students so that they didn't get overwhelmed by all of that, because I experienced it and I know what it's like. And it can really bring you down sometimes when you're just so confused and overwhelmed. So in my program, I go through all of this stuff. That's why I'm telling you more in this video than I did yesterday about starting a business, and like the technical side and the logistics of starting a business, than just talking about travel coaching, because it is really important. Because it doesn't matter what you want to do or what you want to be online, if you don't have the business aspect to it down, you're not going to succeed. My best investments for myself and my business by far have been working with a mentor or a coach. And I'm not just saying that because I am a coach myself. Honestly, every time that I put money into a coach or a program that I've been in, I've made my money back. And not only is it part of like the universe giving you rewarding you for, you know, investing in your business and moving forward and taking those risks, but also it's strategic. It works for you. These people that you invest in, if you choose wisely, are going to get you from this point to where you want to be, and they're going to give you those steps in a proper manner. But you're going to have to really find someone that you relate to most, who has done something similar or is doing something similar to what you want or similar to what you want, and follow what they do. That's how I got my very first mentor, David Meltzer, like I mentioned in yesterday's video. He is an investor on the show Elevator Pitch on entrepreneur.com. Followed what he did on Instagram, came across him somehow, and really love his story. I'm not in the sporting world, he is, but I really loved what he had to talk about business, and eventually ended up investing and working with him, and has really, really helped bring the clarity that in my business, and that is what I give to my students. Everything I go through and I learn through my investments, I share with my students, because I want to bring as much ease to your process as it is, because I wish I had someone to do it for me from the get-go. Other logistics of starting a business, you might hear the words funnels, you might be intimidated by sales calls, you might not know how to be an actual coach because you don't have that experience, and that is why I want to help you, because there's business technical aspect to a sales call, but there's also the innate aspect to build a genuine connection with people. And I talk about all of that because all of those elements are really important. Not only how to close a sales call and how to get your client to work with you, but also how to connect with them and have them understand that you are the person who's going to be able to help them. And then also sales funnels. You might have heard of lead pages and these different landing pages that are click funnels. That's a whole technical side when it comes to starting a business. So if you're a coach, you're going to have to learn about how you want to get your audience from whatever first point it is. Maybe you're giving a free gift, which is always a great option, and what process you want to take them through so they can get them from a freebie to a paying client. And that is what essentially a funnel is, but it varies for every person depending on what service you provide, what outcome you're trying to get, what results you're trying to get, and whatnot. And I talk about that in my program as well. And then when I say free gifts, there's so many ideas out there, and I always encourage my students to figure out what they like to do most. So if you like to be really creative, then create a really fun workbook, like my free 12-page workbook. Oh, I didn't mention before, so you can still download my free 12-page travel coach workbook, which is in the description of this video. Yesterday on day one, apparently I put in the wrong link, so I apologize to everyone who tried to get it then. If you didn't get it, I have updated the link, so click the link that you see under Travel Coach Workbook, put in an email, and it will send it to you. If you don't want to put an email, send it to me, and I'll send it to you via Messenger. But yeah, so sorry about that. But it's not too late to grab your free 12-page workbook. It's really, really helpful. Takes you a lot more in depth in doing the deep dive mentally, the mindset work, and everything to help you establish not only becoming a travel coach, but in business or whatever field of travel you want to get into. And so that's a freebie, a workbook, and some other freebies might be like this, like a free training. It just depends on what you like to do and what you want to offer people. Some people have an ebook and they send like an excerpt of their ebook. Some people give a free ebook. There's so many different freebie options out there depending on what you do and what you want to offer your audience. And that's what they call like a trigger. It like helps people, or I'm sorry, a tripwire. It's what gets them to kind of catch on to your business and be interested, spark interest into your business, and then takes you through the funnel through there. The contents you want to put out, I kind of talked about this before. You want to be really mindful of the content you put out and who you're putting it out to and the ways you're putting it out, so that you're going to get the interaction and feedback and engagement that you're looking for, instead of just throwing everything out there and seeing what works and what fits. And that's really going to take up a lot of time, because when you start a business, you're going to be investing a lot of time and energy into it, and you want to make sure you're doing everything strategically. In my program, I talk about the different types of contents to put out there, and how to really hone in on your skills and your interests and what your comfort levels are, and therefore how to thrive in the social media world as a travel coach, and how to reach your best audience. And then also what platforms for you to be on. We talked about what platforms your audience is on, which kind of go hand in hand, but also I tell my students to be on the platforms that not only are strategic for your business, but also that you enjoy being on. I don't love being on Instagram. I never did. And even though I'm a traveler, I have like over 5,000 photos on my Sahara Rose Travels Instagram. I also have my Travel Coach Network Instagram. I don't enjoy being on Instagram. I come from a place of authenticity, so it's really hard for me to feel like Instagram is always genuine. But obviously, I know as a strategic standpoint, a lot of my audience is on Instagram because they're in the travel world. And also, I've used that platform also to build connections with different publicists and different companies as well. So I'm starting to like it a little bit more. But go what's on your comfort level, what you enjoy doing. I'm not a huge video person, so YouTube has never been my platform. I put all my videos on YouTube just as a home base for it, for all my videos. But and to be able to share them, put them onto my website and the links or whatnot. But I'm not a fan of videos very much. But if you're someone who loves being in front of the camera and loves to do videos and create videos, YouTube might be for you. Facebook Lives might be something you want to do a lot more often as well, if you enjoy talking and stuff. So whatever interests you have are the platforms I encourage you to maximize and be on. How to cut costs and prioritize and block out the noise. I kind of went over this a little bit before. There's so much noise out there, and how to really stay focused on what's most important and how to prioritize what works for you. Joining a program like the Travel Coach program is really going to help you stay focused. I designed it in a way that takes you through the process that I personally went through, so you know what in a sequence what to work on next and what process to go through next when you're starting a business and when you're becoming a travel coach as well. Find mentors and coaches that are going to be able to help and guide you, keep you your mind right, keep you on track. That's always really important. If you leave it up to yourself, I've always been someone who has trouble asking for help. I always have in my life. I'm an only child, always have to do things for myself. I'm a solo traveler. But when I started a business, I realized the importance of asking for help. And that's just not asking to, hey, can you do this for me? But it's, do you know anyone who can help me with this? Do you know a best way to do this? Can you give me guidance? I like what you do. Can you mentor me and tell me how you did it? There's so many different ways to ask for help when you're starting a business. That's really important to get past any sort of ego you have. Trust me, I love to do everything on my own, but there comes a point where you need help from others, not only from hiring someone to do tasks for you, but also to find someone that you relate to and resonate most with, that you can learn from, and they can give you the best guidance, because the people who have done what you are interested in doing or something similar, especially if they've been doing it for a while, have learned a lot, and they can offer a lot to teach you and tell you that will save you the time for making those mistakes, or save you the energy that you're going to put into making those mistakes on your own. So I really encourage you to invest in some sort of mentor program or whatnot to help you along your business journey. There's so many free options out there also to cut costs. Like I mentioned before, if you don't want to do a website, you can put on a blog. You can have just one landing page. You don't have to create a full website if you don't want to. It takes a lot of time to do that. So if, for instance, like if there's you're going to want to create an email list, if that's something you're interested in doing and staying in contact and connecting with your audience. There's a lot of paid ones out there, but there's also free ones, like MailChimp has a free service as well. So there's so many different options. In my program, I give you a list of everything I know have researched and used and tried and gone through and know of to help you make the best decisions for yourself. Now, how to package your expertise. You're going to want to take, like we talked about yesterday in day one's video, creating your own travel coach framework. So you're going to take that structured framework and you're going to figure out how you want to deliver that to your students, to your audience, to your clients. Do you want to do that in one-on-one coaching? You want to do that in a product as a service, or do you want to create a product, and what kind of product if that's the case? And so these are things that you have to think about. And again, think about what you enjoy doing most. Do you like to really interact with people? Do you like to create things? Do you want to, how much time do you want to dedicate? One-on-one coaching takes more of your actual time versus creating a product could be a passive income for you. So get your wheels turning to think about that. Choose what skills you have. What are you, like I mentioned, what are you good at? Are you good at writing? Are you good at visual content? And are you good at just talking with people, and how to deliver that value and how to deliver what your offer is and how you're going to get them on the transformation to go from point A to point B through the product or service that you're offering them. And then what kind of revenue streams can you have as a travel coach? There is a myriad of options out there for not only travel coaches, but people in business, online, or coaching in general. Some of the options could be, like I mentioned a little bit before, if you enjoy working one-on-one with people, you can do one-on-one coaching. If you are intimidated, don't know how to be a coach or hold a coaching call, my program helps you walk through that as well. I teach you how to build the confidence to be a coach. You can do group coaching if you want to get more clients in at once, and it takes less of your time and you're serving more people. How to hold group coaching calls. If you want to create a program or a signature program or a course, I talk about the difference between what a course is, and it's a little more of a low ticket item, or a high ticket item like a signature course, and how to create those. I take you through the exact process in my program of how to create that, depending on what you're interested in teaching, how to teach it, how to put it into a course or a program, and how to deliver that and take your clients through the transformation. Or if it's just a course, transformation is more for a signature program. It's a longer process. If it's just a course, it's going to be a little shorter, lower in cost, and it's going to teach just a couple skills. So maybe you're just trying to, your audience are somewhere who just like maybe just moms who are looking to travel more, and you want to teach them the how-tos, or you are pitching to serving just budget travelers. Maybe you'll create just a course. You're going to teach them some skills, maybe how to find the best deals, how to build points with loyalty points with credit cards, or whatever it might be that you have to go through and you teach in your niche that I'm not an expert in, so I'm not good at brainstorming ideas, but whatever it is that you teach and help your clients with, you can put that into a course in just skills or a lower ticket product. Some other ideas for revenue streams would be, maybe you can create a membership site. You can send out a monthly newsletter, get people to join a membership site. They could pay a monthly or annually fee where they can get certain benefits from it. Maybe depending on what niche you are, you can give them different like goodies and incentives and whatever it is that you are giving them for them in return to be joining your membership site. Soon, in the next couple of years, I'm going to be turning the Travel Coach Network, my platform, into an actual membership site too. So if you get in now, it's really, really great, because becoming a founding member, you also have free membership to the Travel Coach Network membership site as well. You also get a lot of benefits, discounts on my upcoming programs, and other opportunities that I have that I bring my coaches along with me on. You can do affiliate marketing. You might have heard that word before. There's so many ways to do affiliate marketing, but as a travel coach, it's a different way of doing it. It's more strategic, and most people who do affiliate marketing will choose any company, any product, and do affiliate marketing with, because they're just looking for the passive income. But as a travel coach, you're going to want to choose people more strategically, because you're going to want to stick to your brand. You're going to stick to your core values of what you offer and what you represent and how you put yourself out there and what's going to draw people to you. So if you do affiliate marketing, you're going to want to be more mindful on who you partner with or who you are an affiliate with. I just became an affiliate with a company based out of Spain, and they're called Ellen, and they actually do the measurements of employee workplace, and they tell the measurements of the amount of engagement in the workplace, the amount of interaction, the amount of wellness, the amount of so many different topics they have, and they take those measurements, which is right now really big with the biometrics of a workplace in the corporate world. And I partner with them as an additional resource for when their company has a solution, or they see that they have the problem in these biometrics of theirs, and that travel coaching can be a solution to help them in X, Y, and Z ways. If you want to know more about that or anything, message me. I could talk more about it, but I don't want to make this whole thing about my partnership with Ellen. But there's different type of strategic partnerships with them. I am affiliate with them and a partner with them. So there's just different ways to go about affiliate marketing as a travel coach. You can also enhance your blog. If you're looking to become a travel coach, but you don't want to dedicate too much time, maybe it's just a little side hustle or whatnot, and you're already a blogger, or you want to start a blog and you just want to take your blogging to another level where you can generate even more income and maybe turn your writings into being a contributor, a paid contributor for different publicity publications that you really enjoy. That's another revenue stream for you as well. But in order to do that, these publications and media outlets are going to want really unique, insightful content that's different than what's already out there. When it comes to the travel world, there can be a lot of stuff already out there on traveling on a budget, or best websites to get the best deals or whatnot. But as a travel coach, you're so much more than that. Even if your niche is budget travel, there's so much more that you can talk about. And I help you through my program really dig deep into that and figure out what else can you put out there in content and ultimately land big publications. Like I mentioned, I've been just in the past 6 months, actually maybe less, I was out in California when I enrolled in my own in a program for myself and put my business into it, that I learned so much more about publicity. In just a few months, I've already been featured in Business Insider, Elephant Journal, Positively Positive, Thrive Global, and I've been on a handful of podcasts and so much more. And although I choose not to do that as a revenue stream, more so for exposure, there are a lot of people who do write for monetary purposes. So if that's something you're interested in doing, there's ways to, as a revenue stream, to do that as well as a travel coach, and I help you go through that also. You can write a book or an ebook. This past, I forgot when I launched it, but this year I launched my very first ebook. I get continual royalties on that going right into my bank account. It's a travel and mindset guide. Took my very favorite and most important or most viewed blog that I started a long time ago and continually changed over the years as the industry and my experiences changed, and saw that that blog post had the most readings out of all my others, and I decided to take the topic of that and added a crap load more to it and put it into a book and published a book. And now it's on Amazon, and like I said, I make money from that. So that's an option for you as well. As a travel coach, it's much easier. When I get clients come to me and they have a lower budget, I just send them right to my book, and it gives a lot of information that I would teach as a travel coach to my clients. It's also another thing that's really, ebook is really good too, because you can give it as a free gift. You can get parts of it as a free gift. And also I like to give it away as like freebies to not only my students, but also to as like gifts and awards and stuff for different contests I might hold. And also I send it to people that I work with as like a thank you. And also, so it's really nice to be able to have that physical book as well as an ebook. You can be on podcasts. Podcasts are really big. As a travel coach, there's so many different unique aspects in the travel industry that you can really hone in on that hasn't already been tapped into. Yesterday's video talked about a lot of untapped market sectors, but have yet been, the revenue is there, billions to trillions of dollars a year in different sectors like Muslim, African American, family travel, women travel, and whatnot. I talked about all that yesterday, but there's so many sectors that there's podcasts out there that haven't been established yet on these topics. So you can either be a guest on podcasts or you can start your own as a revenue stream for yourself too, if that's something you're interested in doing. There's different speaking engagements you can do, which can be pretty intimidating, but really fun and can be quite lucrative if you build up the credibility for yourself and establish your mission and your vision in a way, and your storytelling in a way that's intriguing, that companies and businesses are going to want to invite you for summits and for their company events and whatnot to do speaking engagements that you can make pretty good money on. You can partner with retreats of different sorts, depending on what kind of travel coach that you're in, different partnerships. We talked about coaching and group coaching. There's different masterminds. You can either be an added value to other coaching or different types of masterminds, not just coaching, maybe a business mastermind or not, because when you're a travel coach, travel is infiltrated into so many different types of events that often get overlooked. So there's people who there's a room for experts like a travel coach to come in and talk about the mindset of traveling, the benefits of traveling, the wellness benefits of traveling, the transformative experiences of traveling that you can have, whether you're on a business trip, any sort of convention and a group of business people came, you're in a wellness retreat and people traveled from other countries to you. Why did they travel here? What enticed them to want to travel? What enticed them to have this experience? So many different options, but you're gonna have to really do the inner work and think about what it is you want to do, what you do, why you do it, and how you can help people. And then establish different types of strategic partnerships. Again, that depends on what service and framework you have and who you want to serve and what impact you want to have. You can go from, take your travel coaching from being just a blogger and a side hustle to really scaling it to infiltrate the corporate world or the wellness industry or hospitality industry or whatever it might be that you're interested in. There's so much potential. It's up to you and your efforts and your vision and your mission to be able to go about and do that, but you have to take action and you have to take that step to be able to get the ball rolling and to get on that journey. And then just add value to other services, like I mentioned a little bit before about different retreats, but you know, maybe it's a corporate wellness program and you want to come in and say, I have this experience as a travel coach. This is what I do as a traveler. Let me help your employees figure out how to travel better or whatever it might be. We can talk about that. That's something that I'm doing in the works of my business as a travel coach, and more than happy to talk about that with any of you as well. Gaining exposure for your niche. I talked about publicity and getting out there. That's really going to bring a lot of attention to your specialty, your niche, what you do, who you are, your story. But if you don't do the inner work and set that solid foundation, like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, that's going to be a really hard time either attracting that media to you or pitching yourself in a way that's not going to have that, it's not going to stick and they're not going to be interested. So you have to do that, set that foundation first before you go out there and say, hey, this is me, listen to me, and this is what I do. Yes, Julia, I would love to talk to you more about corporate travel coaching. Awesome. Message me and we'll talk. Social media platforms to use. that's another way to gain your exposure through Facebook groups and whatnot. Obviously, Facebook groups are kind of tricky depending on what you can put out there, like what you can post, but it's a great way to build connections and to meet other people who are interested in traveling and what you do, who knows what kind of connection you could build later down the road, potentially new clients or partners or whatnot. How to market yourself with exposure. There's so many different ways to market yourself, whether they're free options or there's paid options like Facebook ads. I help you decide what's best for you and your business depending on what it is you're trying to get your sell as a product or service and who you're trying to sell it to. My program's designed to help you go through that also and make those decisions. And then I talk about building a community and stuff to build, gain exposure. Pinterest is really great. If you're interested into Twitter, you can do Twitter. I've never been a fan of Twitter myself, but I'm going to start getting more into it just because I know a lot of publicists are active on there. A lot of people are active on there, so it could be a good niche or a good platform for you to use if you feel like your target audience is on there, depending on whatever you're trying to do, whatever strategy you're trying to do at the time. So that's the end of this training, but I want to mention again that I am still looking for 30 founding members of the Travel Coach program. There's a link in the description of this video. So you enter the code TRAVEL200 to get $200 off. If you pay in full, I give you an extra 2-hour intensive with me, which is based on whenever you want to do it. And that's going to really, I'm going to hold your hand through the process and help you figure out exactly everything I talked about in yesterday's training, today's training, and the remainder of the program. And then if you choose the 4-month payment option and still use the code TRAVEL200, the first month it brings it down to only $50 for your first month. That's the lowest price that I'm ever going to offer this program, guys, because it's going to be going up to over $1,400 this year. And once you lock into the program now, not whether you're a founding member or you missed the first 30 enrollments, then it's yours forever to keep. So any updates, additions, changes, anything that happens to the program is already yours. You're locked in for life. You can refer back to it anytime. You go at your own pace. I'll leave it up to you if you want it dripped out to you, so it's more at a slower pace, or I also give my students the option to access all the modules at once if they decide to do that, because some people have a lot of things that they're already working on, whether it's their home life or the current job, and then some really want to hone in and head on and tackle this program. So I will leave that up to you. If you can share this video or yesterday's video on my page or tag anyone you think that might be interested in learning what I've talked about in this 2-day training, or maybe interested in learning more about the Travel Coach program or becoming a travel coach, please tag them or share them or message me with their name or whatnot. I would love to get this to them and help them out and see if they're interested in this, because not only have I talked about becoming a travel coach, same thing with my program, I also talk about business and how to just start a business in general and everything that includes. So yeah, message me if you have any questions. Grab the 12-page workbook in the link that's in the description of this video, or click on the Travel Coach program link in this video where you can see more. You can see everything in the curriculum of the Travel Coach program, and message me if you have any questions. You can, the first module I put on for free, so you can actually go onto the link in the description, click on the Travel Coach program, and view the very first module and all of its content I've put up for you to see for free. Please let me know if you have any questions, and I am still looking for the 30 founding members of the Travel Coach program to join me on the mission to grow the Travel Coach Network and become a travel coach. And I will see you all soon. Bye-bye.